trustworthy servant for Yahweh's Truth Restored Ministries. This is the third installment in the Truth series. This one is called Gun Ownership. Here's the issue with the gun debate and where we stand, or where we should stand as believers. First off, we are a peaceful tribe, and that is what we were called from the beginning. Anytime it's talking about retaliation or anything that has anything to do with owning a particular weapon of any kind, that is not something we are supposed to do. Many people would argue with me and tell me that in our Constitution we have a Second Amendment, which is correct, we do. But the one thing people forget is that we are not supposed to be of this world, so we are not supposed to be following these constitutional amendments or just the Constitution itself. We have the rights that we have the freedom that we have because this is what we have as a believer. We don't get these from a piece of paper. And I actually got into an argument on YouTube, I think Facebook actually, with someone who said, well, that piece of paper keeps governments from doing things they shouldn't do. And I had to tell this person, no. I am going to do what I am going to do because I know what's right and what's wrong in this system, and the government's piece of paper is not going to help me, do things the right way. I know my own conscience and I understand how things work, so that is what I am going to do. I'm going to follow the dictates of my heart and my mind, which follows the Ten Commandments, those that were given to all mankind throughout time. So that's why I am in 100% disagreement with the Constitution, why I do believe that we are not supposed to have guns as believers. A lot of people will say, well, when Peter told the Messiah that he had two swords, that the Messiah said, that's enough. And that is correct. Well, the Messiah was prophesying a future event which would involve Peter, and we all know what happened with that. But let's get to the Constitution itself, and let's have a little bit of an understanding of what the Second Amendment is actually really about. So we have the Second Amendment, and it says a well-maintained militia and the right to bear arms. See, this is all stemming from the militia. It's not individual citizens carrying guns around just at any time they feel like it. It's a well-maintained militia, which means at the time of war, whether it's on our soil or on another, or when someone invades or anything like that, then the citizens are able to possess guns instead of like what happened in England where they were not able to. Here they are because of the Second Amendment. So if you're a citizen of this world and of this country, then yeah, go ahead. When something happens in this country, pick up a gun, a rifle, or whatever, and you will be able to wield it 100% backed by the law. But just a regular citizen owning a gun just to have a gun for protection or for this or that, that's nonsense. That is not what that Second Amendment is about. And I'm sorry to all those who love the ability to own guns, but you have to come to the realization and the understanding and the truth that the Second Amendment is about militias. It is about, during times of war, whether it's civil or it's other countries coming in to invade, then the public is able to pick up a gun without consequence, okay? Other than that, you don't need a gun. So, and as a believer, you don't need any weapons of war, because our war isn't with the carnal. And you got to remember that. You don't just sit there and say, well, I have the right under the Constitution to own a gun. First off, you misinterpret what the amendment's talking about, and secondly, you don't need that because we're a peaceful people, and you need to remember that. And if you have a hard time remembering that, then remember what the Almighty said, that the Messiah said about turning the other cheek. Was that part of letting them do? Well, no, it was part of a Jewish law thing. So without getting into a whole bunch of things, I just wanted to make clear why a believer is not supposed to, or not. I mean, we are called to peace. Peace, as in no violence, as in not owning something that can do violence towards someone else. And if you want to make a silly argument about frying pans hurting someone and all these other things, come on, let's grow up and let's have a real conversation about the Second Amendment and about retaliation and guns. So anyway, that is done with. That is why we should not own guns. So this is the trustworthy servant for Yahweh's Truth Restored Ministries. Hope you have a great day, and please watch the other content on my YouTube channel. Have a great day, and bye.